Okay, welcome everybody to the lesson today. This is again a new device, so I hope that this one's a little bit better than last time. So we're looking at common mistakes today, but before I start talking to you about these common mistakes, I want to remind you that I'm selling my book on this website, skypelessons.com, and if you click any of the links during the video, you'll go straight to that site as well. And it's £20 for the black and white version, which is like this, £35 for the colour version, or you can buy the PDF from the website. It's on Amazon that you get the physical versions, but you can buy the PDF on my website as well. That's colour, and that's £20. Okay, so some more common mistakes. There are lots of tense mistakes today, but some other mistakes as well. So number one, I didn't see that film, but I know the story. Now, again, this is one of those mistakes that's not necessarily wrong, but in most situations, it is wrong. It's not what we would say, certainly not. And it's this tense that's particularly, it sounds very unnatural to my ears, certainly. Now, the student wanted to say that at no point in her life had she seen this film. And so if we want to say that, we do need to use present perfect, because you're talking about in your whole life. This is very similar to the word ever. Yeah, when you say have you ever seen this film? Have you seen this film? We'd always ask that question in present perfect, by the way. Have you read War and Peace? Have you seen Titanic? We'd always use present perfect because we mean, have you ever, at any moment in your life, have you ever seen that film? And so we're talking about somebody's whole life until the now. And with somebody's whole life, with an unfinished period that extends into the present, we'd have to say, I haven't seen that film. It's just much more natural. It's definitely what English people usually say. So please do use this present perfect when you're talking about your whole life. And very often that's with ever and never. I have never seen this film, or I haven't seen that film. They mean the same thing, yeah? I have never seen that film, I haven't seen that film. Okay, but I know the story. And that's fine. Present simple's fine here, but present perfect here for I have never seen that film. Okay, number two, there's big pressure on the kids nowadays. This is all right conversationally. I mean, everybody will understand you, and I think most native speakers wouldn't even consider it a mistake. But that doesn't mean that it's not a mistake. It's not a good collocation for big and pressure. It's the kind of thing, yeah, you might read occasionally famous people saying something like this. I can imagine Donald Trump saying something like this, certainly. But it's not correct. It needs to be, there's a lot of pressure on the kids nowadays, or there's immense pressure. Immense would work really well here, and it's a strong adjective for big. And we were talking about strong adjectives in the last class, so I thought I would mention that. Yeah, immense pressure. There's immense pressure on the kids nowadays, or there's a lot of pressure on the kids nowadays. Number three, this is a form of passive, which my students find rather difficult. Good morning, doctor. So it's these two forms up here. I've written them out, and you very often see them with verbs like say, think, believe, even tell. It is no, well, no, not tell for this one, so I won't write that one down. But say, think, and believe, certainly you see this. It is thought that he is, and he is thought to be. So in number three, he is believed Britain's most polite armed robber. This was from a text. It's from a very well-known English book, English file, and it needs to be he is believed to be Britain's most polite armed robber. I'm sorry, these pens aren't coming out very clearly. Perhaps I'll try a different colour. Need to buy some new pens. Perhaps I'll try writing in red. He is believed to be. Yeah, he is believed to be Britain's most polite armed robber. Or it is thought that he is Britain's most polite armed robber. Or it is believed that he is Britain's most polite armed robber. Or it is said that he is. Okay, It's very formal style using passive like this, because of course they're passive forms, and you'll often see them in the newspaper. Okay, we saw each other since the beginning of summer. Now this see here, when the student said this sentence, she was actually talking about two people meeting constantly for romantic reasons. It's when you go out with someone. And what you can use see exactly with that meaning. Okay, so if you use see with that meaning, it's not stative. Usually, see is a stative verb. You don't say I am seeing him. You say I can see him or I see him. Yeah, I can see him, I see him. We would never put it into continuous. However, when you mean that you are going out with someone, in other words, you have a romantic relationship with someone, you can say, I am seeing her at the moment. She's my girlfriend. Or I have been seeing her for a few months. And so here, we have been seeing each other. Yeah, we can use present perfect continuous, and we must, because we use this tense with signal words like for, since, ever, never, yet, already, just. Please remember those signal words. They make present perfect much easier. And yeah, because of the signal word, because it's a long period of time, and it's basically because you met many, many times. So yeah, we have been dating each other. We have been seeing each other. It's exactly the same. It just means you've been meeting, you've been having romantic meetings. But I would never put it like that in everyday English. To have a romantic meeting is not something that people usually say in English, but I'm just trying to explain what to see someone means in that sense. To go out with someone, basically, and that's the phrasal verb that we use in England, go out with someone. Okay, my pens are letting me down today, sorry. But yeah, go out with would be the phrasal verb. Okay, number 5. I have written emails all day. Again, it's a tense mistake. When you want to emphasize that you've been doing something for a very long time, you need to write, as a student has just said, have been, and then you need to use present perfect continuous. You need to use have been writing emails all day. Okay? And it's when you're emphasizing duration. If you say how many emails you have written, you need simple. I have written 6 emails. But if you want to say that you've been doing this for a very long time and you don't say how many times, then you use present perfect continuous. I have been writing emails all day, I've been making phone calls all day, but I have made 6 phone calls. I have written 6 emails. So that's the difference. With how many times, use present perfect simple, but when you're just emphasizing that it took you a long time, present perfect continuous. Okay, number 6, they have been knowing each other since they were children. So here we've got the present perfect continuous, but we don't want it. With know, it's a stative verb, just like see was a stative verb when it means see, when it means perceive, and not when it means go out with someone. And so because know is a stative verb, you can't say I am knowing him, and you can't say I have been knowing him. You just can't use it in continuous tense. So this needs to be they have known each other since they were children. Okay? So do watch my videos on present perfect, simple and continuous if you're still unsure about this. But generally speaking, you're just focusing on how many times is perfect simple and duration is perfect continuous. And some verbs like know will always be simple, and other verbs are very dynamic and they'll often be continuous. Okay, number 7. The police wanted irrefutable evidence of her fault. Now, fault is normally used for really not for crimes, but more for mistakes, more for when you spill some coffee over someone. You might say, I'm really sorry about that. That was completely my fault. Yeah, that was it was my mistake, my fault. But when you're talking about a serious crime, you'd normally use guilt. And you can see here that once again there are lots of sentences about true crime, and this is because I enjoy discussing true crime, and so do some of my students. But certainly I love a nice scary crime story. Okay, if she were charged for all of her crimes, she would get the death penalty. Now again, this could be correct in certain situations, but in the situation that the student used it, it was wrong. And it was because she had told me about this horrible crime, about this, the police wanted irrefutable evidence of her guilt. So it's this woman here. And she is a real person. She's in prison right now. So because she's a real person and she's in prison right now, this happened in the past. And because it happened in the past, we're making a hypothetical conditional, a hypothetical statement about something which happened a long time ago. So we need third conditional. We don't say if she were charged, we say if she had been charged. Yeah, that's past perfect passive. And then she would get, no, she would have got the death penalty. Would have got. Yeah, you need that. Would have got the death penalty. Okay, so third conditional there. Number 9, they asked a few questions to the husband. This is a very common mistake. You can't ask questions to somebody. You need to ask somebody a few questions. So we need to move the husband to here. They asked the husband a few questions. They asked me a few questions. They asked him a few questions. You'd never ask a question to somebody. You can put a question to somebody. I put it to you, that, something like that. So you could use the phrasal verb to put something to someone, but with questions, you'd never say they ask someone, they ask a question to someone. Never say that. Yeah, we have to move the husband. Exactly, Alexander. Hello again. I know you were here yesterday as well. Nice to see you. Okay, number 10. I still need to apply for university. This is a really subtle point. You don't apply for university. And it's a shame because I know what the student means. He's aware that you do apply for a job. Okay, and so you need to get rid of, you can apply for a job, but you apply to university. Okay, so the student was unlucky. I know where they're coming from. You do apply for things. You apply for a job or for a position, or you might apply for a promotion or something like that, but you apply to a place, to a university. Okay, if that's all clear, that's fantastic. I hope that you enjoyed this class. I hope that you like the video and subscribe. And even more, I hope that you go to my website and buy this lovely colour PDF. It's at skypelessons.com and it will help you with your phrasal verbs, and it's supposed to work in tandem with the phrasal verb videos that I've made. And inside the book there's loads of hyperlinks. You can do it without a PayPal account. You just use, fantastic Andrea, I'm glad that you bought it. You will be able to use just your card. It's PayPal, so PayPal doesn't require you to have a PayPal account. You just have to have a bank card, and I'm sure that all adults out there have bank cards, yeah? So if you just go to the website, click on it, it should take you through the process with just a card. You won't need a PayPal account. And if anybody has any problems doing that, just get in touch with me. You can put a comment underneath the video saying I can't buy it for some reason, and I can give you some other options. Somebody used vk.com, somebody just transferred the money straight into my account. So different people are doing it in different ways. There are lots of different ways you can do it, but I think the easiest is using PayPal and going to my account, or going to my website, sorry. So if you don't have any other questions, I've got a class starting at 10 o'clock. I'm going to have to go, well, just sit on the computer and do that. And do let me know about the quality of this video. I'm curious because, again, it's a new device and I'm hoping that the sound and the picture are much better than usual. So thanks everybody for watching, and I hope to see you all soon. I will be making a lot more videos over the next few months, so it will be, the videos will be more frequent, so I'll try to make at least 2 a week, but perhaps more. Okay, thanks everybody, speak soon.